Today on DNVR Buffs Live, it is Tiersday, which means we are tearing off the Big 12 head coaches. Also, Shedeur doing Shedeur things. Let's talk all about it. Let's go,
squad. Let's go, baby. Happy Tiersday, everyone. It's been a minute. Coming to you live from a Toyota Lounge, driven by your Front Range Toyota stores, is DNVR Buffs Live. What's up, chat? Well,
squad.
It's June 10th, guys.
Yeah, man.
And it feels like it.
What does that mean?
It's the off season.
I feel like we got plenty to talk about today.
We do.
I'm ready right now.
But eventually...
Carolina Panthers.
Sick reference, bro.
I'm ready right now.
You're on one, man. Today on the show...
Stop sending Scott pictures of your meatloaf.
I'm tired of seeing meatloaf unprovoked that I'm not asking for.
Unsolicited meatloaf pics are not acceptable.
For real. First time, all right. The second time, all right. The third time, I'm not going to be so nice. Stop showing me y'all meatloaf unless I ask for it. Please. Please.
Oh, man. Today on the show, we have a new visitor for this weekend. In the class of 2026, we'll talk Shedeur Sanders. But we are going to rank the Big 12 head coaches on a tier list. Happy Tiersday. It's back.
Let's get it.
Last year is the last time we did this specific exercise. Do you remember that at all?
Yeah, I do.
You got it? You got it pulled up?
I'm looking. I've got it pulled up right now. I'm sending it to Alyssa.
Okay. I'm very interested to see this. How you guys did.
So this was actually quite a while ago. This was February 13th, 2024.
Wow.
That's when we did this.
Right before Valentine's Day.
Yep, 16 months ago.
Wow.
I just sent it to Alyssa.
Has there been, so what are there, 4 new coaches in the Big 12?
3.
3?
That is... Frost, Rich Rod,
FF.
and... God, who did I just did this damn thing.
Tell me, bro.
Yeah, I don't know. Your guess is as good as ours.
Is it just those 2 then?
Oh, no. We made a mistake.
Or it might be those 2, actually.
Yeah,
I know.
it's just those 2.
We messed this up. Oh, it's...
Why would you bring this up if it was so bad?
Wait. Who is that? Gundy and Whittingham up top?
That is, yes.
Yep.
So, and A, you got Prime, Sonny Dykes.
Gus
Gus Malzahn.
That was a miss.
Kleiman, and
Take
who is
it
that
down.
on the end? Who's that?
That's
in A?
Satterfield. That's Cincinnati.
Take it down. That's... Why would you hang us out?
It's
to
really
dry
not
like
that bad, honestly.
Bro said I'm
We got
embarrassed.
Sataki and C or B.
Oh, wow. I didn't even get down
We
that
had
far.
Kenny
Sheesh.
Dillingham and C.
I mean, there's a chance that it looks that crazy in
Yeah, it's fair.
8
fair
months.
enough.
This is college football, so.
It's true. Also, shout out to Scotty's t-shirt. That is fire.
Shout out to a legend, man.
Shout out Sweetness.
Walter Payton, one of the greatest nicknames of all time. Arguably the greatest running back all time.
I don't remember like how you watched highlights when I was this young, but I saw Walter Payton highlights when I was like 8.
Just NFL films, montages.
Yeah, it must have been. And like after that, me and my friend Patrick were just obsessed, like just pretending to be Walter Payton in the park, like doing the like jumping high five, Selly. Fire.
Mine was Bo Jackson, but it was the You Don't Know Bo 30 for 30. After that one, she was the guy, man.
What's your favorite 30 for 30?
You Don't Know Bo is definitely up there. The 1983 quarterback draft one is up there.
That was with
Elway
Marino. Catholics versus Convicts is good. The Pony Excess is good.
that was a good one.
I like the
Greatest That
low-key
Never
ones.
Was.
Yeah,
So
that
do I,
one's
bro.
really good.
That was Marcus Dupree?
Yep.
That's arguably my favorite one. That one's so good.
That one's up there for me. The one about the guy who almost bought the Islanders with no money. That one,
I don't think I've seen that one.
bro.
I
You
know
have
that
to
one,
watch
yeah.
that one. It's like I like all sorts of like heists or like fraud. Like you know the movie like Catch Me If You Can.
Yeah.
It's like that, but it's literally a true
Interesting.
story about how this guy just pretended to be rich so that he could buy the Islanders, even though he had no money or not a lot.
That's crazy.
Yes.
Of course,
I'm gonna have to tap in.
Yes, Dave, Gospel According to Mac.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, yeah, that's a given.
I actually really enjoy the one about, 4 days in October? The one about the Red Sox coming down from 3-0 against the Yankees in the
Yeah.
ALCS.
Yeah.
That's a great one.
I just hate the Red Sox. So
I know,
it's
me too, but
hard.
that's a great documentary.
Why do you hate
though.
the Red Sox?
Just Boston.
I mostly hate them because they beat the Rockies in the 2007 World Series.
Valid reason. Y'all ever seen the 30 for 30 on Benji Wilson?
No, which one's that?
He was a high school basketball star in Chicago. Went to Simeon, which is like where Derrick Rose and Jabari Parker went to, like in the 90s. And like he was like the number one player in high school, like as a junior. Like they were comparing him to like Michael Jordan, like dead ass. And before his senior year of high school basketball, he was shot and killed in the city. So it was just about how he was literally supposed to be next up,
The next one.
and
Man.
he got taken out. Like literally, it was crazy. But that's a great one too. I'd recommend that.
X in the Cut is right. The Shedeur 30 for 30 is going to be wild.
I think
Facts.
what's more likely, a Shedeur themed one or like a Coach Prime Goes to Colorado themed one?
I think both, honestly. But Shedeur, after the draft, he got his own one.
Yeah, once he wins a title, they won't have a choice.
Yeah.
Just on that whole draft on Shedeur, that's going to make some kind of... I might produce it, honestly.
Hit up my boy
But-
Jake to executive produce.
That's gonna be a piece of content, I guarantee it at some point. All right, we ready to start off this tier list?
Let's do it.
Let's get it.
There's only 2 new head coaches, so we can change the last tier if you want. That one was too early to tell last time we did it.
Okay.
We can just make it. I don't know.
I don't think we need that because I mean the two are guys we know. Frost
the
and Rich Rod.
Well, so what I was doing is I just subbed out a Willie Fritz pick of him in Tulane gear for Houston gear. That's why I thought there was
it
3.
wasn't a new one.
Got you. Yeah.
Yeah, the OJ 30 for 30. Okay. This is just in order of whatever it sorted the pictures in. S, A, B, C is what we got.
Damn.
Too early to tell.
We're keeping too early to tell? There's not really any.
I mean, we know about Rich Rod and Scott Frost as head coaches.
Yeah, so
So I
let's
don't
make
think we
that
need
one
it.
F.
Okay, Alyssa.
Could you make
Can
the
you-
bottom tier F
Yeah, the too early to tell one. Yeah, that
instead
one.
of too early to tell? The jury is out.
It is, honestly.
Yeah.
First coach.
Who is that?
This is a tough one right off the bat. Arizona head coach Brett Brennan.
He's F
F.
tier.
All right, there it is.
I mean,
I was waiting for this one.
How many games does he
I didn't
last?
want this one to be
Does he
first.
last the season?
No. Well, yes, because Arizona's so poor.
let's take a
True.
let's take a peek at their schedule.
They
They
went
can't afford to fire him.
3-9 last year, I believe.
Sheesh.
One is
With a first round pick at wide receiver and an incredibly hyped quarterback.
one of the most disappointing teams of the season,
Yep.
bar none.
And they had talent all over the defense.
And they lost even
Secondary was
more
good.
to the portal this offseason.
Why? Because no one likes him.
Yes.
Yeah, he's the worst coach in the conference, I think.
They open up with Hawaii, and I feel like that could get tricky right away.
On the island?
No, they got it
okay.
at home, but still, They got Hawaii, Weber State. Then they open a Big 12 play with K-State, Iowa State, then Oklahoma State, then BYU.
That K-State game might be out of conference.
Okay. They got that one at home at least.
That's tough though. So they have BYU. They have Colorado.
Yep.
Yeah, why are the colors
They got
in
Baylor
reverse?
and Arizona State.
Oh yeah, this team is.
Did you notice that?
What?
The colors are in reverse, so S tier is red.
It's just how the site does
F
it.
tier
I
is
don't know.
green. That is weird.
Yeah, this is looking like another 3-4 win team again this year. And yeah, he is definitely a candidate to not make it through the season.
If they didn't have Fafita, they'd be a potential 0 to 2 win team.
Oof.
Man.
Next is Chris Kleiman, Kansas State. One of the best coaches in the conference, clearly.
Oh, God.
If you can win in Manhattan, Kansas, man, I don't want to say you can win anywhere, but damn.
It has been done for quite a while, though, winning in Manhattan, Kansas.
One person has done it, and that's Bill
Yes,
Snyder.
Yes.
So,
but he's
yes.
been around for like
Yes.
100 years.
Yes.
Kleiman's been there 6 years. He's won at least 8 games every year except one.
It's impressive.
That's really impressive.
48-28 is
It's really good.
his career at Kansas State.
Yeah, Kansas State is like the Alabama of Texas Tech.
Spot on, brother. Spot on. Three bowl game wins as well.
Is he S tier? Has he won a Big 12 title?
I think, yeah. When they lost in the Sugar Bowl in 2022, they won the Big 12.
Okay.
That was Deuce Vaughn, right?
Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to say,
We can edit the list later, too.
I'm tempted to put him in S tier.
I think he is.
I'm
think
tempted
he
to put
is.
him there. If y'all agree, I'm with it for sure.
Put him in S. Chris Kleiman, first in S tier. Coach Prime is next. Do we want to rank him now or save Coach Prime?
I mean, he's S tier.
I mean, I guess that's true. Just put him in S tier.
S tier.
Easiest one.
Yeah.
Next one. Dave Aranda. How do we feel about Baylor and the program under his direction? Last year, there were not many expectations.
No.
And now all of a sudden they have
Quite a bit.
one of the best quarterbacks in the country. And I think they're kind of a sneaky dark horse, like Big 12 pick this year.
And real quick, just on Coach Prime. To me, it's easy because I wouldn't trade him for any other coach
Of
in
course.
the conference. So that instantly puts him S to me.
He's the face of the conference.
He is.
He is.
Literally.
Let me try and find some odds real quick, too.
Yeah, I mean,
I would put Aranda right in the middle.
Really?
I thought about A tier. That was my first or initial reaction. I can be talked into B because obviously like 31-30 in 5 seasons at Baylor, which obviously, right around 500. He did have the 12-2 year when they won the Sugar Bowl, won the Big 12 back in 2021, just 3 seasons ago. They finished that year number 5 in the AP poll. So he has seen some highs there. Followed the year that was 6 to 7 years, 3-9 in 2023 before, like you mentioned, really impressing last year. 8-5 before losing in that bowl game.
They're now plus 700. They're tied for the 4th favorite to win the Big 12 this season.
Wow.
What was their run at the end of last year? What they win like 4 out of 5 or 5 in a row or something?
Oh, I'm not sure.
Well, they finished 8-4.
8-5, including that bowl game loss.
Yeah.
So yeah, 8-4 finished to the regular season.
They were like 1 game out of the tiebreaker. I
They
think, and
finished the game going into the bowl game. They finished the game on a 6-game or finished the season, on a 6-game winning streak.
The reason I bring that up is I honestly think if it weren't for that, if they go 4-2 in that stretch, I think Dave Aranda gets fired.
Probably. Some big wins in this stretch. They scored a lot of points, too. Put 59 on Tech in Lubbock, beat them.
Wow.
Put 37 on TCU, beat them by 3. Put 49 on West Virginia, beat them by 14. Put 45 on Kansas and beat them by 20+.
Well, this is interesting. So they had 4 regular season losses last year, right? Their 4 losses were to week 2, number 11 Utah early in the year when they still had Cam Rising.
For a half.
They lost to Colorado, obviously. They lost to BYU, who was ranked 22, and
6.
Iowa State, who was ranked 16. Those are the 4 losses. Like, those are all
Wow.
quality losses,
Yeah.
if we had to call it something.
And they probably wouldn't have lost that Utah game if they had figured out Sawyer Robertson was their quarterback by that point.
And I bet he wasn't the starting quarterback the whole
And
game.
obviously, CU needed a miracle to beat them.
Yeah, literally.
A tier? S tier?
I still got him in B.
Wow. I'm putting
cool.
him A tier.
I was thinking A2, but I'm
All right,
cool with B.
Okay. You guys, two out of three goes A.
All right, let's take our first break, and then we will get back to Big 12 coach tier list. What's the criteria exactly? We'll get to that on the other side. No, you're fine. Shout out to our friends over at Coors Light. Beautiful, hot summer day out here in Denver, Colorado.
Warm one.
High of 87.
Sheesh.
Yeah, it sounds like we may need to do some chilling at some point later today. Nothing better to do that with than our friends over at Coors Light. Do we have, what's tonight, NBA Finals?
Nah, tomorrow.
Do we have NHL tonight?
Nothing tonight?
Nothing tonight.
How did
All
I
right,
mess
well,
this stuff up?
I don't know. It's crazy. Well, there's nothing to do tonight, so just go get yourself some Coors Light from your latest store or from your nearest store, and just crack back a few cold ones, man. Come hang out with us at the DNVR bar as well. It's always a good time down here. We got tons of events going on this summer as well. Make the most out of the times you choose to chill. Choose Coors Light. Get it delivered straight to your door. And visit CoorsLight.com/DNVR. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado beer.
And shout out to our friends over at Monarch Money. If you're looking for a better way to manage your finances and really understand how you're spending your money, maybe you had a blurry weekend and you're like, wait, why is my credit card bill so high? What was I doing at midnight? Monarch Money is a great way to keep track of stuff like that. And you can look back and see, I'm spending way too much money at the bars on Friday and Saturday nights. Or maybe you're spending too much money on delivery of food at night. Whatever it may be, Monarch Money does a great job of helping you stop overspending in areas that you don't need to and know where you are overspending. So get control of your overall finances with Monarch Money. Use the code DNVR at monarchmoney.com in your browser for half off your first year. That is 50% off your first year at monarchmoney.com with code DNVR.
Okay, so how I'm doing this is I'm factoring in obviously past performance, but I'm also kind of factoring in, how good are you going to be this year type of thing.
Okay.
I think that's part of my
mean-
formula as well. You look at what they've done since they've been at their current school.
Yeah, it's probably 60-40 past performance, 40%
Projection.
what's going on for this year.
And a little bit of would you want them as your coach?
Sure,
You
yeah.
know?
Yeah.
I mean, you said it early on. I don't think anyone would trade Coach Prime for anyone in this conference, maybe even in the entire country. So,
Yeah, I think that Arizona State fans would probably say they want to keep their coach.
yes.
That's about it.
K-State and Baylor, I think.
No shot, Baylor.
Yeah, I don't think.
None.
I agree with you. But I feel like I'm with you on climbing, though.
Maybe just because of the demographic of the fan base.
Very possible.
Plays a factor. Next coach is Joey McGuire.
C is my initial reaction.
Also, did you see someone tweeted out that Texas Tech's roster expected to cost like $55 million this season?
God bless them.
How does that work with what we just learned yesterday?
Because I think they signed a lot of deals ahead of it, knowing that, if we get ahead of this, get these deals signed and approved, get these kids enrolled before all this starts, they get this, now they get 20.5 plus revenue sharing.
Okay.
I think that's what a lot of people did. They crammed in some crazy NIL deals this summer to get ahead of this House lawsuit.
I'm looking forward to this going down in flames for Texas Tech. There are going to be some real pissed off millionaires at the end of the season when they once again win 7 or 8 games because they're the Texas Tech of Texas Techs.
And nobody's going to pay for that more than Joey McGuire. And like you
Exactly.
mentioned, win 7-8 games. Joey McGuire's been there 3 years. First year they won 8 games. Next year they won 7 games. This past year they won 8 games. 23-16 overall though. The last 3 years he's been there, which is solid. You'll take that for the most part. But I just saw this in 2022, his first year there at Texas Tech. That was Tech's first winning season in conference play since 2009.
That's
13
insane.
years without a winning season in conference play, and McGuire did it his first year there at Tech, which is obviously impressive.
Yeah.
So, like I said, my initial reaction was C. I can be talked into B.
It's an interesting position for Texas Tech to be in because they are Texas Tech, and you can go chasing something else.
Yeah.
And trying to be someone that you're not, and like fire a Joey Maguire.
Yeah.
And a lot of times you can get a bad hire after that and go backwards a little bit. Now you become
Facts.
5 or 6 win team. But when you put $55 million allegedly into a roster,
Chat was right. It's the entire athletic department, though.
okay,
So not the wrong.
so
But still, you'd imagine
$53.5 million
exactly.
into
Yes,
a football
thank you.
roster. I know they actually did pay like a softball player $1 million.
Yeah, right.
So maybe it's 50. Who knows? It's people are going to expect more,
You
and
can
so
expect it all.
9 wins doesn't even 9 wins doesn't get the job done this year for them.
Especially when you were just at 8 last year.
Yes.
With, before all the money.
Quarterback's coming back too.
Right.
Yeah.
So they probably have to win 10 games this year for him to save his job. To me, though, he's a classic B tier coach here.
Yeah.
I'm not moved either way. I could put him in C tier, but if B's the consensus, that's where he goes.
Coach Prime always talks about too, like his background, McGuire's background, coming in coaching high school football,
sure.
and like clearly, I think that has helped in recruiting, especially that state, which is filled with elite football talent.
For the rest of the time, I'll just think of him going, "Stop throwing stuff on the field."
He's only been there 3 years. He's got a 23-16 record.
Couple bowl game wins.
Yeah, I mean, before that, he was really just a assistant head coach, position coach. So he's really, in terms of being a head coach, kind of young. Only 3 years.
True.
in.
He is Texas through and through too.
He is. Next on the list, we got Kalani Sitake.
S for me.
S tier.
Man, that's crazy. I had him C last year, and now he S after just 1 year. That's crazy.
He was coming off a really bad year. that
BYU
year.
did not
True.
look good the first year in the Big 12.
I realized that when I was looking at that. I was
Yeah.
like, why would we have put him there? It's like, oh, right. They came into the Big 12 and did not look like they belonged.
Yeah, let's not
whatsoever.
forget how much of a surprise it was that BYU was that good last year.
I remember even when we were at, I think it was the UCF game. So that was, the fourth maybe game of the season, fourth. And I'm
Yeah.
like, damn, BYU low-key, like, they keep winning. Like, this has to
5-0?
stop at some point.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, this has to stop at some point. But this is impressive nonetheless. And
For
they
sure.
just kept doing it.
Yep. I mean, Dion told that story on set just of him like helping them dig out of that hole at
Yeah.
Arkansas. And it's just like he's a coach who I could see myself playing for if I was a big time recruit.
For
Most
sure.
Definitely.
I just wouldn't be at BYU, but it's a coach.
And he's kind of been there a while. He's done it a minute, right?
Well, and I think that one Big 12 year is like the one blip on the radar.
And it's understandable, too, right?
Yep. Yeah, I mean, so they had one bad year, his second year. 2017, they went 4-9. And then 23, 5-7, first year in the Big 12. After that, man, they've made a bowl every other season and have won at least 7 games every time.
Are we too high here? Are we a little too high?
I don't think so because,
Okay.
I think the biggest reason for BYU's success here, at least last
Clearly.
year, is
Clearly.
the coach.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's not like we're pointing at the quarterback or an elite skill position player. It's the coach. So
Well,
I
and
will
if
say they do-
Miranda's in A tier, I would take Taki over Miranda in a heartbeat.
For sure. BYU does have obviously grown men on their team,
Yeah.
too. But
Yeah.
we don't have to factor that in here.
And what we talked about too, like with Dion told us, where he was like, he goes into every game with a trick play, and like we saw that in the bowl game, like they played like a desperate team, like they were the better coach team on that day.
Yeah,
And
I
it was
mean,
clear
if this comes down to just how impressed I was with how they approached the Alamo Bowl, I'm fine with that.
for sure.
Like, I felt like BYU came out like they were playing for a chance at a national championship.
Yeah. Next up is Kenny Dillingham.
God BS.
Does it?
You tell me. We've only got 2 years to work with.
I know. He had a great year last year.
Basically, it has the Coach Prime arc with the program that he got. He just got he overtook a program in a better place,
He had a much better starting point, yes.
Yeah.
but he also took them to higher heights last
He
year.
did. Fair enough.
if I was changing coaches and I had to pick a Big 12 coach, he would be my second pick.
To Kalani Sitake?
No, sorry, he would be my first pick if
After
I couldn't
Prime.
have Coach Prime. If I had to change from Coach Prime, he would be my number
I see
one
what you
pick.
mean. I don't know. I mean, it was really impressive what they did last year.
I think I'm more on your side only because it's been 2 seasons. It's been one good season as opposed to the other guys in S tier. You know,
Right.
aside from Coach Prime, you know, Kleiman's been there for a handful of years. Sitake's been there for a handful of years. And we
Coach
have
Prime
more
is the
of a
only one who had a 1-11
constant proof.
team that he took over, though.
Yep.
right, and that's why we have him up there in S
Yeah.
tier. But so I'm cool with Kenny D in A. I get it, and that would be the reason, right? We just have to see one more because we've seen head coaches,
Yeah.
you know, have one good year,
I mean, he's a great
flame
coach.
out. Right. I
It's
don't
just,
see-
we're putting him in this group already.
Yeah, no. Well, Sitake, if I put Kenny in A, then I would want to bring Sitake down to A. Especially because Kenny's the one with the conference championship out of those two.
It's true. It's true. Who would you
fine
rather
with
have, bro?
And he has 2 years in the Big 12 as well, Sitake. One good one, one bad one.
Who would I rather have between the two?
Yeah.
Damn.
I know.
I guess I'd probably say Dillingham.
So then it's either he's going up or they're both coming down.
Let's bring them both down because I think 4 coaches in the conference in the S tier is kind of overkill.
Okay.
I'm cool with bringing them down.
Where are we putting them?
Sitake's coming down to A and Dillingham is joining him.
Next,
I like that. Good talk, boys.
Sure.
we have another tough one, Kyle Whittingham. How much do you weigh last year?
I don't weigh a ton, bro.
He had nothing at quarterback.
Nothing, bro.
What do you mean?
Come on.
I forgot Big Isaac. Was
I know. Yeah.
You're the prodigal son of Utah.
Oh man. Yeah, I mean, Jesus Christ, he's been there so long, dude. He's been there
And he's got a
20
crazy
plus
record.
years.
It
What's his
should be
record?
noted that they didn't look good at any of the points that they had Cam Rising either.
What do you mean?
Like,
Last year?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
Okay, last year, yes.
Okay, yeah, agreed. I
mean,
mean, like, last year just wasn't a good
They
year
were just a bad football team last year.
for sure. He's 167 and 86 at Utah.
Yeah, it's impressive.
That's a lot of winning.
He's gone to BCS bowls. He's won conference titles.
That's
Yeah.
just like basically a guaranteed 8-4 every
Yeah,
year,
pretty
except for
much.
last year, or better.
He's S tier.
He's S tier, man. And this is probably his last year as well at Utah.
It is.
Because they have already
named
named, his
Morgan
replacement.
Scaley as his replacement.
So Utah team is going to be juiced up this year to send Kyle Whittingham out the right way.
Oh, this is the retirement tour.
Yeah, I think
Forgot
so.
about
Well,
that. Oh, not
not
officially.
official
Not
yet,
officially,
but
but-
like
Okay.
he named a successor. He hasn't said when he's stopping.
Yeah.
Like,
And there was some
it's
noise
cleared
going into last year because I remember that was
Yes.
kind of a talking point. We were at Big 12 Media Day last year. Because again, he's been around a long time. I mean, how old is he? He's got to be in his 70s, I would assume. You don't know, 65. So
I mean, still though, you've done it for 20 plus years, and
Right.
that's not even counting all your years as an assistant.
he started coaching in 85.
Yeah, exactly.
He's probably been the most consistently successful coach in this conference.
I was going to
He's
say all of
played
college
in-
football, but yeah,
Like 4 conferences too.
right.
Yeah.
He's been all over the place.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were a real problem every single year in the Pac-12.
Don Juan, the list is a work in progress. Just bear with us, please. Bear
Yeah,
with
what do you
us.
mean? We only have 3 right
Yeah,
now.
we'll get there. Let's take our next break.
Oprah is crazy.
You do get an S, Don Juan. S tier chatter, bro. Shout out to the homies over at Empire today. Home field, home floor advantages in sports are everything that could turn the tides in a season for a singular game, win or loss. And it could just brighten everything up in your home or business. Whether you're switching from carpet to tile to hardwood floor or the other way around, Empire Today's got you covered because that's all they do is flooring. They're not going to try and upsell you on some window frames to match the flooring or anything else in your home. They just want to take care of your floors, make sure you have everything spick and span. And the best option, they can have it all there for you with an in-home estimate and show you their virtual floor designer, show you exactly what it would look like with their different options. Again, some things are just better at home, so schedule a free in-home estimate today with our friends at Empire Today. DNVR listeners can receive a $350 discount when you use promo code DNVR. Again, it's a $350 discount with code DNVR. Restrictions apply. Visit EmpireToday.com/DNVR for full details.
And shout out to the squad, our good friends over at First Bank, y'all. Listen to me. If you are looking to upgrade your banking situation, First Bank is the way to go. Whether you're on the road, at home, or maybe even somewhere in between, First Bank makes banking easy, convenient, and so secure. Their mobile banking app allows you to check balances, pay friends, and manage your money anytime, anywhere. And here's the best part. Listen to this, y'all. If you open a new First Bank checking account today, you could earn $300. First Bank is all about helping you stay on track. Their tools make it simple to stay in control of your finances without the hassle. So no matter where life takes you, First Bank gives you the freedom to bank how and when it works best for you. So if you're ready for better banking and the chance to earn a little extra, head over to efirstbank.com/bonus. That's efirstbank.com/bonus to open your account. Bank how you want, when you want with First Bank. Certain restrictions and requirements apply. Member FDIC. Shout out to First Bank.
All right, next we got Lance Leipold. What was the crazy thing we saw, or you brought up a few weeks ago with Lance Leipold?
Oh, he.
Yeah, what was
just that? He was the representative at the business thing?
I think that might have been what it was.
I thought it was something else though. Like we saw a list or something that had him like way, way up there.
You're right, bro. I can't remember. There was something too about Jalen Daniels that pissed me off too.
Yeah, that's right.
I think that's what it was.
That might have been what it was.
He was in like tier 4 or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It was
and
some
CU's quarterbacks are in tier 9. It's
Yeah.
like, what are we doing?
well,
Like, have we watched Kansas the last two? Watched Jalen Daniels the last 2 seasons? And I guess, and I understand that we got to say that with a little bit of, because Kansas did beat Colorado last
See
year.
where you laid it in.
But it's just the truth of the matter. Where y'all putting Lance Leipold?
I don't know. This is a crazy one. He's been a head coach for a long time.
He has.
Going back to Wisconsin Whitewater,
Whitewater.
when he had a 109-6 record.
Yeah, he honestly
Damn.
was the one to put Whitewater on the map for real, on like a national perspective. D3 at least, obviously.
Well, and Quinn Miners.
He then goes to Buffalo, goes 37-33, has 2 really good seasons.
How does that even though get you?
Well, look at his last 3 years. 2020 was COVID. He went 6-1
The year before that, he went 8-5 though, bro.
at Buffalo. That's pretty good.
But if you're at Buffalo, you're playing Buffalo caliber teams.
Uh-huh.
The
Well,
Mac,
no.
bro.
You should be.
Shit gets crazy.
Yeah, come on.
It's just
Some
kind of
respect on the map.
you're 37-33 and you get to go from Buffalo to Kansas. I don't know. Here's what it is.
I mean, look at his last 3 seasons: 10-4, 8-5, 6-1. That's 24-9.
Yeah, so he clearly turned around Buffalo,
Yeah.
started slow, and then got them going.
Okay.
He goes to Kansas. He's 22-28 over the last 4 years. Went 2-10 his first year, 6-7. His second year with a loss in the Liberty Bowl. 2023, they go 9-4. They win a bowl game. They finish 23 in the polls. Last year, they go 5-7 with their crown jewel accomplishments ruining our season.
Yeah, they ruined a couple seasons.
They did.
That C tier to me looks very lonely, and I think Lance Leipold fit in beautifully there.
Who's sitting in B tier alone?
That is
Joey McGuire, I
Joey
believe.
McGuire.
I think I would take Joe McGuire over Lance Leipold, don't you think?
I think I might do it the other way around. I
Joey
was
Mc-
already saying Joey McGuire C tier, so that's just me.
Leipold has a tougher job at Kansas.
100%.
Yeah.
People, I think, a little bit forget that Kansas was worse than Colorado during Colorado's worst stretch.
They
Say
were
that again for me, bro.
Like, when Colorado
Yeah.
was one of the worst teams in the country for
Sure.
a long stretch, Kansas was worse.
That's crazy.
They
to think
were
about.
the doormat of college football.
Yep.
They were terrible.
So he does deserve some credit, and I think he came in after kind of that Les Miles
I think so.
Experiment went totally wrong. And he's done a good job there considering the standards of what Kansas football has been.
He's B tier for me. I'd put him above Joey McGuire, in my opinion. Especially when you factor in the longevity and what he's done at other stops. That stands on its own way more than what Joey McGuire's done in 3 years at Tech.
I think I'm going to put him in B2 because I do value. I have put a lot of value in making a terrible football program respectable.
Y'all outrule me. Throw him in B.
He's in B tier.
Former Chargers running back J.K. Dobbins is signing a 1-year deal with Denver.
Let's
Hey,
go.
let's
According to
Finally.
Adam Schefter.
God.
It's a nice side. It's a good pickup.
We needed a vet in that
Hell
room
yeah,
really
man.
bad.
Matt Campbell.
I just saw. Did y'all know that Matt Campbell is already the winningest coach in Iowa State history?
It's not surprising.
Wow. I mean,
64
how many years
wins.
has he been there?
Since 2016.
Oh, okay, not that many. I feel like he's been mentioned in he's been mentioned in the NFL head coaching cycle
Right.
every year since then.
His first year, he went 3-9. After that, 8-5, 8-5, 7-6, 9-3, 7-6, 4-8, 7-6, 11-3. He's 99-66.
A tier.
He is A tier.
Okay. I like that he's produced a good amount of NFL dudes as well.
He
out
has.
of Iowa State over the last few years.
Both sides of the ball, too.
Yeah. So
Edge
I
rushers,
like
running
that.
backs, wide receivers.
Brock
Brock
Purdy.
Purdy. Yeah.
Yeah. He's produced some dudes, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah. I think I have to up my respect levels for him. Because he just seems so mid to me, but then produces above mid most of the time.
Yep. Put him in A tier. All right, another one. Mike Gundy. Worst year of his career last year. First losing season, I think, since his first season at Oklahoma State, which is damn near 20 years ago.
This is probably the toughest evaluation.
I think he's washed.
That's fair. That's a good point, too. You can make that.
Yeah.
I don't think many people, or I think there's a lot of people who'd agree with you.
He was the Big 12 Coach of the Year in 2023.
Well, yeah, they went
the
to
year
the
before last.
they went to
yeah,
the title game.
for
They
sure.
played Texas
Right.
in the title game.
You know, they were in the Big 12 title game the year before last. You know, so it's like that's what
Ollie
I'm saying.
Gordon was
it's a
running over everyone that season.
tough evaluation for him because you have, damn near 2 decades of. I mean, wow. 10-win seasons.
Yeah, bro,
pretty much.
I mean, yeah, if you look at his history, it's insane.
Even since 2020, right? 8-3, 12-2, 7-6, 10-4, and then last year. That's just the last, 4 or 5 years.
Why were
But,
they so bad last year? Because they had talent. They were
Quarterback, bro.
expected to be really good. They were ranked 4th or something in FPI coming into the year.
Well, quarterback,
I'm always going to look at quarterback, if not coach.
we literally stole one of
the
their best
quarterback,
defensive players.
It's true.
Bowman is Cam Rising without the pub.
I know, but
He was a
people were
6th, 7th
hyping
year guy.
Bowman.
But he threw a bunch of interceptions the year before and
He
this
did.
past year, a bunch.
I remember it was not a hot take to say that he's the worst quarterback in
Yeah.
the conference going into last year.
So it's if you
The guy that went to the Big 12 championship game?
I think a lot of people, especially with Shedeur and Cam Rising and all these guys coming in, they looked at Alan Bowman and were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah. I also think the Ollie Gordon DUI situation before the season kind of
I think that, yeah.
ruined any amount of juice that they might have had as a team.
And again, DJ McKinney left. He would have been one of their best defensive
That too.
players.
So where are you trying to put him?
The guy has a 169-88 record. And he's
Basically
got
the same as Whittingham.
3 conference titles, or 1 conference title, 3 conference game appearances. He's got a top 3 finish in the top 25.
But like we were saying, part of it has to be projection, right? And I don't
sure.
think any of us are expecting them to be good this year.
They will be better, I think, though. I don't think they're going to
Yeah.
be the worst team in this conference this year.
That's a very, very low bar to clear.
It's so I'm saying it's tough. It's a tough evaluation. It's really tough.
Historically, he'd be like an S tier coach. I don't know if he's that
He
going
would be.
into this year though.
He would be. So I mean, yeah. I mean,
B tier.
See, I think that
See,
I'd probably have him in the A tier.
That's fair.
His resume would put him in the S. But last year, combined with our projection for this year, I think knocks him down a tier. The chat, I don't think anyone's even said A in the chat.
right.
I'd put him like B tier.
On B, we got McGuire and
Leipold.
He's
He's better than
He's
McGuire.
better
Again,
than
I'd
those
put
guys.
McGuire in C tier. That'd be what I would do. But
Let's put him in A.
okay,
We'll put him in A. 2 more year or another year of what we saw last year. Yeah, I mean he's C at best.
and I think Wayne's kind of right. I think it was one of those years where it's like, what could go wrong went wrong
Yeah.
for them last year
It
too.
was really true.
They turned over a lot. I know in the portal. I think they lost quite a few coaches that they turned over too. So yeah, we'll see. Scott Satterfield, Cincinnati.
finally the C tier gets some company.
100%, dude.
Throw him in there.
I mean, honestly, has he done anything to elevate himself over F?
They were decent last year.
Okay.
8-16 in 2 seasons. If he doesn't make a
Before-
bowl game this year, he's out.
Before that, he was very average at Louisville, went 25
Right.
and 24. And then he was good at App State before that.
Right.
I think C is right
I think
for now.
Remember, they started 5-2. Lost 5 straight to end the season.
That is true. Yeah, put him in C.
Yeah.
Sonny Dykes.
There is no D tier, by the way.
There's no point to a D tier.
Sunny.
Wait.
Yes.
Satterfield is C.
We didn't do Sonny Dykes yet. The one in C tier. Yeah, that one. Where do you think he is? He has been at TCU for 3 years now. He's gone 27 and 13. Of course, national title appearance in his first year. Won the Big 12, or lost the Big 12. I think that year, right? They lost to K-State and still made the playoff.
I don't remember. I'm not going to lie.
I'm pretty sure they lost the Big 12 title game that year. Still made the CFP.
Okay.
And then they played Michigan in the Fiesta Bowl, beat them, and then got just completely smacked by Georgia.
Yeah.
He went 30 and 18 at SMU before, 19 and 30 at Cal before that, and then 22 and 15 at La Tech before that. He's been coaching since 2010.
I like Sonny quite a
Career
bit.
record of 98 and 76.
Like you mentioned, he's been at TCU for 3 years. Went to national championship 1 year. Had a down year in 23. Kind of bounced back last year.
What'd they end up
9-4,
94.
including the bowl game win.
And I think they'll be pretty good this year.
They'll be solid. And I think the biggest thing for me is it seems like Dykes he gets the most out of his quarterbacks. Like he got the most out of Max Duggan.
Yeah.
He has gotten, to my eye, a lot close to the most out of Josh Hoover, who, are some people's popular pick to be one of the best quarterbacks in the conference. So
Well, and he recognized, too, 2023. Remember they went into the year with Chandler Morris in that game against Colorado? Like,
yeah, right.
he was quick to be like, he ain't it.
For sure.
Like, he put Hoover in, halfway through
respect
the
that.
year that year?
I respect that a lot. So I'm saying B at least.
For
I'm gonna
sure.
say B. I'm gonna say B. B.
I think career, like, contextualizing his whole career, he's probably a B tier coach.
Yep.
Because the SMU tenure was pretty impressive. Like you
Yes.
mentioned.
He is, I'd say he's on the rise, though. If he has another, like, really good season this year, I think it's time we start putting a little bit more respect on his name.
So how many wins would he have to get this year to upgrade to A?
If you go 9 or 10 wins again, I think
Yeah.
it's pretty clear. They've been recruiting really well recently, too.
Yep.
They have.
Willie Fritz. Time to sharpen the pickaxes and the.
Where my boy Dion when you need him?
Yeah, I know. I need some stats here, some context.
I'm looking it up. So obviously Willie Fritz was great at Tulane before he got to Houston this last year. So this is his second year at Houston. They went 4-8 last year. They had nothing really.
No, he didn't.
But I still thought at least they had some really good performances for the lack of talent that they did have.
Yeah, they battled when I watched.
The BYU game was close for a little bit, at least the first half.
That stupid onside kick.
They were just a tough out. Like, they weren't good, but they weren't going to lay down for you. Before that, Tulane had 2 great years. 22, he went 12-2, 23, 11-2, but otherwise he went 54-47, going back to 2016 with Tulane. Before that was at Georgia Southern, 17-7 in 2 years. Before that was at Sam Houston State. For 4 years, went 40-15. And before that was the head coach at Central Missouri and went 97-47.
I mean, he is in one of the bottom 2 tiers. I'm just not impressed with the guy. And I get it, he turned around Tulane, but
he's a better coach than Joey McGuire.
it took him a long time to turn around Tulane. Like 5-6 seasons to turn around Tulane, which
you
is
don't
understandable.
You won't get that at Houston, though.
Exactly. And it's like, I'm not expecting Houston to be good this year. They weren't good last year. So
It would be C for me if it's between those two, but I could hear a case for B. But when I look at what happened last year, when I look at what I expect to happen this year, I think C is probably the right place to be.
I think Carlton's right. We'll reevaluate next season, but I think he's a better coach than you guys are saying at this point.
because I was looking, at the Tulane, that first year, he went 4-8. Houston went 4-8 this year. That next year, they went 5-7.
But it's Tulane, bro. Like,
It's Houston, bro. It's Houston.
yeah, I think he's gonna have more resources and gonna be able to recruit Texas pretty damn well.
But he's going to be playing tougher teams and be battling with tougher programs for these recruits.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to the Big 12.
Yeah, exactly. He's going to get he got a rule welcome to that Big 12.
How many wins would they have to win this year for you to feel vindicated in your?
If they make a bowl, if they win 6 games, that's a great year for Houston.
And you're saying then that would have meant he deserved B tier?
If he wins 6 games, they go to a bowl game, you guys are not gonna like me. I'm gonna be very annoying.
I won't even remember this happening.
Oh, I'll make sure you remember this happening.
I think it's on the board that they get to 6, but I think that is the cap.
We'll see.
I think they can win a final week of the season, second last week of the season, to get to bowl eligibility, and that would be a win, I would think. But I think that's the best I can see.
He's better than these last 2 guys. I mean, clearly though, Scott Frost and Rich Rod. Scott Frost, we can put in F tier. I don't care. Honestly.
What has Scott Frost been doing since he was so bad at Nebraska that he, as a national championship winning quarterback, is now hated by the fan base?
I can't answer that.
What has he been doing the last couple of years?
I don't know. I wanted to say I think he was working with the Rams, but I don't think that's right. I don't see that in his bio here.
So Scott Frost has at least 1 year at UCF where they, claimed a national championship.
So he was in 2024. He was on the Los Angeles Rams coaching staff.
He took the 2023 year off in football,
Okay.
and then got back into it last year with the Rams.
I don't know what he did though.
Just says he was an analyst. Somewhere for the Rams, right?
Yep.
Yeah, it just says he was like a senior analyst.
And then what's his career record as a head coach?
35-38. He has 1 winning season. The year that UCF won a national title and went 13-0, apparently.
Okay. So
They did
I
not
just
win
want
a
to
national title.
put some context for those of you who don't understand. Like, when Nebraska hired Scott Frost, their fans were just like, we're back. It's like, we're good.
Yeah.
Everything's fixed.
Understandable, I guess.
The prodigal son has returned. He's guiding us back to the promised land. Nebraska's fan base was totally revitalized and so excited. And then Scott Frost pressed the wrong button at every single opportunity for how many years? 3, 4 years?
4.5.
4.5 consecutive years. It was so bad. Everything he did was wrong.
His best year at Nebraska was 5-7.
Hey, who was that quarterback they had for a few years? He was like
Adrian Martinez.
Thank you.
Yep. Adrian Martinez, Heisman candidate. In the Scott Frost offense? Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
This is F tier. He's F tier.
He's
You have one,
so clearly F
one
tier.
dance in the big leagues, and it was ugly at every opportunity.
Honestly, if he didn't have first off, the only reason he has a coaching job right now is because he went back to UCF. The only reason UCF hired him back is because he has
had one
their
great
best season in their existence.
Yes.
And this is why this is a cautionary tale. Again, I'm not comparing Scott Frost to Kenny Dillingham, but we see this sometimes.
Exactly.
We see this sometimes
yeah.
with a program which, is dormant for years, and they have a special year, a special run. And then that next year, they are back to what they have always been. And again, I'm not saying that's what's going to happen to Kenny Dillingham and Arizona State this year, but it wouldn't be abnormal.
Oh, yeah. Also, there are some problems because, of course, like when a place like Nebraska fires their coach, then all the stories come out about all the bad things they did. And there are some stories out there about him frequenting the college bars.
No.
And, yeah.
No.
And he even has a checkered past from his playing days at Nebraska. So
Really?
not anything. It's ugly.
Just Google him.
Yeah. So this will probably end in flames for UCF. Slimy guy, bad coach.
They're clearly a program reeling, and their best chance at even getting back to any sort of competitiveness and relevance was like, we just gotta stabilize the ship, bring in the guy who had the all-time best year back.
And he was probably one of the only few guys that wanted that job.
Exactly.
So-
Colorado ended their program in October last year.
Yeah, they need each other.
Where are you at with Rich Rod? So he was at Jacksonville State, 23, going back to 2022. 3 great years actually with Jacksonville State. 9-2, 9-4, 9-4. Went 27-10. Arizona before that, though, not great. He also took like a 5-year break from coaching. 2017 was when he was fired from Arizona. He got back to Jacksonville State in 2022. Only went 43-35 in his 6 years at Arizona.
Honestly, winning record at Arizona is impressive.
Did go to a big time bowl game. They lost to Fiesta Bowl in his 3rd year. 10-4 was their record.
Who's on that team? Nick Foles?
2014.
Maybe.
Yeah. Michigan, he was a disaster. Went 15-22 in 3 years there.
Do you feel some type of way about him because of that?
I really don't. Michigan
It was
just,
Michigan. Why was Michigan going through like an identity crisis? Why would Michigan have Rich Rod as their quarterback?
well, because this is what they fired, or Lloyd Carr retired.
Yeah.
Right before they beat Florida. They beat Tim Tebow in like an Outback Bowl in like 2008. They weren't really that good that year. And they hired Rich Rod. They brought the spread offense in, obviously not a fit at Michigan. They did get Denard Robinson out of it, who was just goddamn electric.
Yeah.
They did have some players. In my opinion, I think if Rich Rod was given one more year, he could have did what Brady Hoke did that first year, but obviously we'll never know. Because he brought in a whole culture shock. Like they were recruiting Florida, that's where Denard was from. Like
Yeah.
it was completely different than what they were doing historically.
Yeah.
I'm thinking B for Rich Rod here, only just because he's had success at multiple stops, like multiple big programs. Michigan, Arizona, like you said. Not Michigan, but
West Virginia.
that's
his
what
first
I meant
run.
to say.
Yeah.
West Virginia and Arizona.
Pat White, Steve Slayton,
Yeah.
all those guys.
And then
That's just so long ago.
it is. It really is. He left there in 2007.
Yes.
But he had 4 first-place finishes in that time.
When he left there, the Colorado Rockies were in the World Series.
He has a career record of 190 and 129 with 2 ties. He's old enough.
190 and what?
129 and 2 ties. He's old enough of a coach that they were coaching during ties.
Okay, so I can live with B tier based on the resume, but I don't have any good feelings about what's going to happen with this West Virginia reunion.
Yeah.
They went so crazy in the portal too. This is a completely new team.
They got like 50 new players on the team.
Yeah.
So I think he has a B resume, but I think if we're including projections for this season, he might be a C guy.
I think that's fair.
What do you think? Where would you lean?
I'd put him B tier. There's definitely a good amount of coaches I think he's better than. career-wise. Maybe, I don't know about 2025, but I mean, in terms of, Scott Satterfield, I think that he's more impressive. I think he's more impressive than Joey McGuire. Lance Leipold, he actually did it at a way higher level when Lance Leipold was doing his thing at lower levels.
West Virginia had 52 new players.
What was West
transfers.
Virginia's record last year?
I want to say 4-8.
I was going to say, to me, it comes down to, like, do you think they're going to make a bowl game this year? If they do, I think he should be in B. If they don't, then I think he should be in C.
I don't think they will. So
I'm looking. Well, last year, West Virginia went 6-7. They did make a bowl game. They lost by 5 to Memphis in the Frisco Bowl.
Okay. What do you think this year? Bowl game or no?
Yes. Over Arizona, over UCF. I like him over Cincy. I'd say he's more of a sure shot to make a bowl than Houston for sure.
I like Cincy over West Virginia this year.
Yep.
I don't know. I'm going to say I'm the tiebreaker here. I'm going to say B tier. I'm going to give him the career achievement boost.
I don't hate that.
There it is. So S tier, we've got Chris Kleiman, Coach Prime, Kyle Whittingham. A tier, Dave Aranda, Kalani Sitake, Kenny Dillingham, Matt Campbell, Mike Gundy. B tier, we got Joey McGuire, Lance Leipold, Sonny Dykes, Rich Rodriguez. C tier, Scott Satterfield, Willie Fritz. F tier, Brett Brennan, and Scott Frost.
Hell yeah.
The
biggest one, I think the one that I disagree with the most is Dillingham, but it's like the opposite of career achievement. Like I'm giving career projections. I think he's going to be good for a long
Calling your
time.
shot, yeah. Any gripes, Scotty?
I don't think so. I think we killed that for the most part. Where do we end up having Leipold? C?
B tier.
Yeah, see that would probably be my only. I don't know about that.
I'm like that about Joey McGuire too.
Yeah.
So.
Everyone has their one gripe.
Do we have time today? Yes. Okay.
For what it's worth, I have no love for Utah. But the fact that Kyle Whittingham made them this good for this long is impressive.
Bro, that's the meatloafer. We not put too much credence into what he's talking about right now.
All right, let's talk Shedeur. Can you pull up the OTA's scoreboard first, and then we'll do the clips?
Oh, did you have that? Was there a graphic or that clip?
You can just play the clip. It's fine.
Okay, here's the clip.
So here's Shedeur working at OTAs today. The stats are, the same thing we've been seeing the last 3 times ESPN Cleveland has put out
How about
stats
just
for OTAs.
anytime he sets foot on a football
Well,
field?
that too, of course. It's Shedeur Sanders that we're talking about here. Today, he went 10 of 2 with 2 touchdowns. Flacco did not work out today at all. No pass attempts. Kenny Pickett went 6 of 10 and had 3 touchdowns. Dylan Gabriel went 7 of 18 for 1 touchdown. There were no picks thrown today by any quarterback.
This is so obvious. It looks like, did Shedeur get any first-team reps today?
I don't know. I didn't look into that today.
I didn't see anything
I'd
about
imagine
it.
probably not, honestly.
I don't think he did either, only because it was made news when he didn't. So I feel like it would be news if he did. Either way, I know he did get some second-team work. He's just going to keep doing this. This is what he does, no matter who he's playing with, what time, what level of ball he's at. He completes passes and avoids turnovers. And eventually it's going to become obvious to someone, hopefully, that that's what he does. And then he's going to do it with the first team. He's going to do it in the preseason. He's eventually going to be the starting quarterback. The funny thing is, and I know that our audience has been all over Cleveland media, but like the headline I saw from like a post-practice recap was like, Shedeur and Dylan Gabriel both make wow throws and this, that, and the other. And it's like, you're talking about the wow throw of a guy who went 7 for 18?
He did throw 1 touchdown, though, bro.
It must have been a wow throw. That's just like that's not the headline. It's like Gabriel struggles. Everyone else was
Yep.
fine.
And like
Shedeur shined.
according to Zach Jackson, who covers the team for The Athletic, Shedeur did get some work with the second team group offense today. But yeah, I mean, like you said, obvious. You tweeted obvious, earlier.
One of the most predictable quarterback battles of
predictable.
all time is what I
Yeah,
tweeted.
it's like, come on. This is why I talked for so long about Cleveland being just a great spot for him, because bro has to beat out Dylan Gabriel and a 40-year-old
Yep.
and a dude who Jake has bigger hands than. That's Shedeur's competition. You feel me? And it's going to take time because, again, they invested resources in trading for Kenny Pickett. They used a 3rd-round pick on another quarterback. So they're going to exhaust, I believe, all opportunities to give their guys the chance to prove that they can play. But once it's obvious to Kevin Stefanski and quarterback coach that Shedeur's the best quarterback on our team, on our roster, it's going to be legendary. And I don't know when that moment of clarity is going to happen for Stefanski and the crew, but it'll be here soon.
I mean, it better happen soon. This is their jobs.
Yeah,
The
but
job is to win football games, man. Like, at what point you got to put at some point you got to put your best quarterback in and give him first team reps before the season starts, before the preseason starts. Like,
They
that's
will.
just standard NFL practice.
I agree, and I'm curious how Stefanski's going to approach this as someone who's probably on the hot seat, because it's like the way to save your job is to have Shedeur be the guy.
Exactly.
Obviously, yes.
But a lot of times these coaches play scared, and they think the way to save my job is to take the veteran safe option, and it's like, you're the Cleveland Browns, man. You're not going to succeed with the veteran safe option. Like, when you are a team that has dominant players at other positions, maybe you can get away with that. Maybe you have a dominant running game, or you have a fantastic defense that can hold it up. But, like, you're the Browns. You start Joe Flacco, you're winning less than 7 games. And if you're Stefanski, you're fired.
Yep.
And again, these players on the team are out there every day. And if we could pull up that clip, his teammates are taking notice of what bro is doing day in and day out. And it's just going to become clear and obvious to everybody here involved. Do we got that clip pulled up?
Who's talking?
A sponge, I would say. It's just crazy that a guy this young with this much notoriety can just handle media and things like that. I think his dad has really taught him how, to be that guy in the spotlight and understand that what comes with it. And I think he's been doing an incredible job of just learning and getting better each day.
It's one of the Browns' best young players, one of the best young corners in the NFL.
The least surprising thing I heard all day.
Exactly. He's prepared for all of this.
We need to investigate the NFL.
And then Shedeur met with the media today, too, and just like, I think the most notable part of it all, because that he's just going to nail the answers and be a pro up there. But I can't. It might have been Dalvin.
It was. I know what you're talking about. Yep.
On the little clip of the hot mic at the end where he walks off, and one media member goes, "Hard not to like that guy."
Period.
Which is, again, exactly what we've been saying forever. If you actually had the opportunity to meet him, if you actually had the opportunity to be around him, you'd realize that Shedeur is an incredibly likable person, which is wild considering the narrative that is always being attempted to be painted of him, which is that he's an unlikable person. He's brash and arrogant and all of these things. And it's just like, takes less than an hour of actually being around him to realize that none of that is true.
Blame the NFL owners for driving that point home to the general population, honestly.
I don't know who exactly did it, but I hope it comes out.
Investigate the NFL.
I love that you're 10 toes down on that.
I swear to God,
the
I will
investig-
produce this documentary. I'm not even joking, bro.
You know how to produce a documentary?
I'll figure it out. This will be
Gotta
the
be a
pilot.
YouTube video.
Sure.
ChatGPT gonna help him out.
No, I'll do the investigative reporting.
Right, that's more up your alley.
No, I'll do it all.
Oh, man.
I guess that'd be producing, right? Like doing the reporting and literally just giving some, like, here, make a movie out of this.
You gotta film it.
But I'm not film. But like That's what the producer is, right? They like bring the content to
Why
the
don't you
table.
ask the producers that we have on set here?
How many movies in 30 for 30s have you produced?
Me?
Yeah, you.
10.
A vet.
I'm serious though.
I want you on that reporting.
Set me up a book deal or something on this. I swear.
Let's go.
I'm not even joking, bro. It just changed how I viewed, honestly, the entire process. What used to be one of my favorite things
Change how I viewed a lot.
about my
bro.
job, about one of my passions, like
Yeah, bro.
I don't know.
Crazy.
It changed a lot.
Yeah. I mean, we knew it was going to be ugly, and it was worse than we ever imagined.
It was. Last thing I've got is we do have another 2026 safety visiting this weekend. His name is DeMonte Timms. He's a 3-star from Armwood High School in Seffner, Florida, listed at 6'1.5", 195 pounds. The 999th overall player, 80th ranked safety in the class. He actually has a really impressive offer list if you look at it.
Yeah, he does.
He's got Georgia, Louisville, Miami, Colorado, of course. He does have an OV set up to Georgia the weekend after. Oh, this can't be right. 247 has him on an OV to Mizzou and Georgia at the same time, which is impossible. But
Yeah, it was weird because they have like 2 visits for this weekend and for next weekend. So
oh yeah, it says he's coming to
Yeah.
Colorado and Vanderbilt this
Right.
weekend. So, anyways, this is a pretty high profile 3-star recruit. It seems.
Okay.
you talked to our guy Adam Mustard Tiger too at 24/7 Sports. Just some quotes here from Mr. Timms. He goes, Colorado has been showing love consistently, and just the energy around the program, especially with Coach Prime leading it, it's something different. I'm looking forward to see how they operate and what the vibe is with the players and coaches. Colorado's been real with me. They see my versatility and believe I can be a big part of what they're building. They talk a lot about development, playing early and making impact, not just on the field, but off it too. It's not just hype. They're speaking to my goals. Well said.
Sweet.
Hell yeah.
What would you call the 30 for 30?
On Shedeur.
Yeah.
Let me cook, bro. I can't.
Not on the spot.
Not on the spot. Yeah.
All right.
I'll think of something though. Let's go to the chat.
Squad.
Did we hit overtime?
She said we were good. That's why I asked. King Mars says,
Large.
what tier would you put Bill Belichick for his expectations this coming season? Sheesh.
I'll be impressed if Bill Belichick is coaching week 1.
I don't know if I'm all the way there yet, but this isn't going to end well. They have got talent, though.
Yeah.
I just...
I mean, that would just be so hard to do because, like,
I feel like you don't even put Bill in the tier. You just put Jordan Hudson in the tier.
Probably.
She's running the show.
Yeah, she is.
bro, they got a suite open to their. Oh, actually, never mind. I take that back. They open with TCU. That's gonna say a
Ooh.
lot.
Yeah.
When's that?
September 1st, Monday. So that's the holiday.
Yeah.
Oh, they're...
Labor Day.
Labor Day.
Yeah, they're taking that Monday. Yeah.
Sick.
That's probably
prime
the
time.
only game on that
I
night.
bet. Yeah. 6 p.m. ESPN.
That's been like the LSU slot the last
Exactly.
couple years.
Yeah. LSU, FSU. Just
Yeah.
throw that matchup in there.
Yeah.
And they got
Damn.
Clemson too to start the month of October. Probably their 2 toughest games though. Their schedule actually isn't bad outside of those 2 teams.
Michael says, is it just me or do you think the Browns giving Shedeur the majority of the first team reps on non-media days?
See, that's
think
another
so.
thing.
Man,
that,
if they're doing that, it just shows how ass backward this shit is, honestly.
I don't understand why
possible,
they
though.
would do that.
They would do that to literally humble Shedeur.
Yeah. Which
or they might want to do it just so in their mind, so that this
They're
Shedeur hype train doesn't get out of hand, right? Because if they see him
Mm-hmm.
dropping dimes in front of the media, they know what the conversation is going to be.
Of course.
But if they can, kind of hide him balling a little bit, they would probably, I would think, want to do that. But who knows?
No, I wish I could tell. But
Yeah.
from what I can see, like the Browns fans are already like ready for this.
Oh, yeah. They're
Like, what are
buying.
we waiting for here? What's going on?
Yeah.
For real.
East Coast Kev, what's up, man? Says, am I wrong to say that Cleveland media is being really biased towards Shedeur? Or or that he's getting less reps but making the most of his reps. Please let me know if I'm wrong.
So biased towards him. So
Against
Biased
him.
against him.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just classic like media. Like half the media is pro Shedeur, half the media is anti Shedeur.
yeah.
And it's like a lot of times it feels fabricated in these quarterback battles. It's like, okay, we've got a radio show. We've got to have one guy who likes this guy, one guy who likes that
Right.
guy. Like, I mean, when the Broncos had a quarterback battle of Paxton Lynch versus Trevor Siemian,
Yuck.
there's a radio station in town that was like branding it as like The Decision 2016, and like
good
all of their branding was around that, and every show was one Paxton guy, one Trevor guy. It's like it's all fabricated.
That was so toxic.
That was a rough one.
Was it really?
It was so bad.
The Paxton
we were coming
Lynch.
off a Super Bowl.
Oh yeah.
It was
sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
It was bad.
Doesn't sound fun.
Eric says DNVR, what is missing from Colorado to compete with the likes of an Oregon, Ohio State, and the Blue Blood elite programs, facilities, NIL, etc.?
Up until now, it's been a lot about NIL collective dollars.
At this point, I'd just say it's about wins.
Yeah, and then I was going to say, now hopefully that field is leveled. And I think it's just going to be about consistency of performance.
Yep.
And that's what makes this such a big year for Colorado because, you know, a lot of people are expecting us to take a step back without Travis and Shedeur. And if Coach Prime and Colorado go out there and win 8, 9, 10 or more games,
Sure.
then everyone's going to say, okay, this isn't just a blip on the radar. This wasn't just a lucky recruit with Travis Hunter and, you know, Shedeur was his son. Like, people are going to say, okay, Colorado's here to stay. Coach Prime's got, you know, 5 more years on his contract. Like, I'll go check this out.
You just got to stack consistent years.
Yep.
And success. That's
Well,
what
no,
it's going to be.
I'll also say, was it in recruiting or just straight up? Because I was going to say, trench recruiting.
Right. For sure.
That's the one place where, like, those schools never miss.
Yep. Laura says, I want everyone to know I've made it my mission to cure Scotty Deep Pockets of his meatloaf hatred. I'll deliver a tray of my recipe to you guys to enjoy.
Honestly, bring it on.
Appreciate
Let's
it,
go,
Laura. Yeah,
Laura.
bring it on. And to be clear, I don't hate meatloaf. I just,
He's just backtracking that because he doesn't want it.
I've just never met a meatloaf that I liked, that looked good to me. You know what I'm saying? So I don't hate it. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, Laura, the meatloaf you shared on Twitter, that was in my mentions, actually did look good. It looked,
I don't think I saw that one.
somewhat edible. So I'm definitely willing to take you up on that, Laura.
Let's go.
Might make for some incredible content too, by the way.
Yes.
You know?
Anything else?
That's it.
Well, we made it through June 10th, guys.
Told you we had enough to talk about.
I wasn't worried about enough to talk about. Well, tomorrow's June 11th. We'll try again.
Can't wait.
See you guys then. Skull Buffs.
Go Buffs.
We all silly like the mayor.